real, right? 34 episodes of the Ask Me Anything Twitter Spaces. It's a great opportunity for us to talk candidly, one-on-one, and for those who are listening to hear the conversation. I think I'm proud of the series. It's a very highly educational series because we get a lot of kind of new trader questions. We do a lot of kind of in the moment analysis as well, but we talk a lot about methodology, how to identify trades, how to manage your risk, stuff like that. So I think it's just a wonderful series. I will let you know that if you like this, you can. I've been uploading them to my YouTube channel, which is at Cheds Trading. There's that playlist called Twitter Spaces. I will be going live tonight on YouTube. I'm going to be doing another live update in the Tweets Explained playlist where I basically go through and kind of talk about some of the things I've been saying and walk you through it. If you're new to trading and you want to get started, go to the playlist called Masterclass Technical Analysis Webinars. It's a wonderful resource. Lots of free alpha. I'd start there. I am the author of Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. That book is done incredibly well, and I want to thank everybody for that. I do have a third of that book for free up on my YouTube channel, so check out the playlist, the Trading Wisdom playlist as well. Just want to let people know the Spaces is sponsored by BingX, which is an excellent exchange. If you're looking for somewhere to trade, you can see at the top of the Spaces, there's a link for you to check that out as well. And kind of the big deal is Bitcoin Live has a 5-year anniversary sale. I'm a founding analyst. I've been doing market reports there for 5 years. It's the best team in the world that studies crypto. I say that hands down with full confidence. And I personally do a twice a week report, Wednesday and Sunday night. I haven't missed a report in over 4 years. Doesn't matter if I'm sick or on vacation, I stop and I put out a report. It's really important to me to stay dedicated and to live up to my oath, my promise to the members. I take that very seriously, and practice makes better. Practice makes you better. So I'm really proud of being a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live. When you sign up, you get access to everyone's content. And so what's crazy is right now there's a 5-year anniversary sale. You can get a quarterly membership for $27, which is ridiculous. It's just first 3 months, and then it will renew at regular price. But honestly, even at regular price, it's such a ridiculous value because you get access to everybody's content, right? Not just mine. So if you sign up now, you can go watch 500 videos from me alone, and just highly recommend it. Something I'm really proud of. We'll probably have a bunch of members joining us here today. So now that that's out of the way, oh, by the way, I published my 3rd book, Trading Quotes, in December. It's 365 original quotes by me about trading. Encourage you to check that out. It's available on Audible as well as paperback, hardcover, and Kindle. So this is an Ask Me Anything. I want to hear from you. There's a button in the bottom left which says, request to speak. And what I'm going to do is bring you up, and I'll have you wait until I call your name. And then one at a time, we're just going to talk. You can ask me a question or two, and hopefully that will provide value. It usually does. Right now, just one person requesting to speak, but for everybody else, and especially if you've never spoken before, if you've never had the courage or never really thought you had anything to say, this is a great time for you to do that. So hit that button in the bottom left. We're going to build up a group of speakers. Folks, wait until I call your name, please. But I really would encourage you to hit that button. You're going to get some honest analysis from me. I'll kind of give you the best I've got. Do my best, and that's what it's all about. So just really, really encourage you to request to speak. And go ahead, Goat. Why don't you get us started? What's going on, buddy? Goat, you're up, man. Go for it, brother. Goat. Oh, we lost you. All right. Red on the day. Red on the day. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Cheds, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How's your Monday?
It's good so far. Just finished a run, and here I am with you.
How long did you run?
Today I did 3 miles.
That's it?
I'm coming back from an injury.
What?
So
Yeah. Well, good for
trying to
you,
ease
man.
back into it.
It's
Yeah,
not
thanks.
easy. It's not easy to like recover from any kind of physical injury. It's like you want your body to hurry up, but like that just takes time, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know about that, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I really don't have a huge question. I wanted to jump in and just say, yeah, I always appreciate you being in the space and being and keeping it positive. I guess I have a question. Did you voice the audible? And if
I
so, how did
did.
that go?
It's me,
Oh, how'd
brother.
that go?
Yeah, I've actually voiced. So I've published 3 books so far: Trading Quotes, Trading Wisdom, and my cancer memoir. I'm rewriting the cancer memoir, and then I'll eventually do an audible for that. But for the the 2 trading books, I have done audible and I recorded it myself. Um, it's hard because I ended up recording like chapters like 20, 30 times, like trying to get it right. I kept, I wanted to get the intonation right. I wanted it, the cadence and the pacing. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm proud, super proud of it. And you get to kind of hear from me in my own voice, um, just how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, essentially, as I'm reading it. So I'm super proud of it. It was really cool, even though it's hard. It took forever, but I did record them.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I just wanted to pop up here, just say hi. Yeah,
Great.
I guess I'll grab that audible and be listening to you as I come back from this injury on the next run.
All right, man. Keep it up, brother.
See you, man. Take care.
All right. Folks, we need you to hit that button in the bottom left, which is request to speak. This is a, teamwork makes the dream work type of situation. Just me talking by myself is not what this is all about. If you want that, I'm going to do a YouTube stream tonight and, of course, Bitcoin Live twice a week. But the point of these spaces is I want to get you folks up and in the conversation. Please hit that button in the bottom left. I want to bring you up. I want to hear your question, and help create value. So please join the conversation. What's up, Taylor?
Hey, Cheds, thanks for having me
Sure.
speak. Hey, one thing I don't know if you know this, but what's really helpful to me is I have you on notifications on Twitter,
Mm,
and oftentimes, like for me, I'm a normie. I just
yeah.
do crypto for fun, whatever,
Sure.
make a little extra money. But oftentimes, when you're tweeting out that like there's a huge movement
Yeah.
in crypto, you're one of the first ones to do it, and that's actually been really useful to me. Like
Hmm.
when Bitcoin or ETH, I don't pay attention much to altcoins, but like when Bitcoin was down at 15.6 or whatever, like some of your tweets were actually what notified me that there's a huge move. And I was like, it is actually really helpful. You might not mean to do it, but you're pretty much the quickest one to get to Twitter to notify people, I think. So I appreciate that a lot. It's helped me out a lot because I have trading view. I don't spend a whole lot of time making notifications for, price targets or levels or whatever. And it's been good. So appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I love that feedback because and thank you. And I realize that like most people, so sometimes I'll put out tweets and people will ask me like, "What's the point of this tweet?" And I'll say, "Listen, there are people who have me on, there are people who have me on alert. Like these people work real jobs. Like they can't watch the chart all day like I do. So I keep that in mind. I really want to add value, and so I try to. And I know people have me on alert, so I try not to abuse that. Like I try not to tweet too much. I try not to like meme too much, even though I'm not great at memeing. But I try not to spam it, and so I try to. I love this feedback because that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not always telling people. I'm often, most of the time, not telling people to buy and sell. It's not what I do. But if there are major points and major buy signals, like the one at 18.5 or in the short at 30.5, I'll point that out. But what I want to do is I put out, an alert, tweet that says like something's happening, and I want you to then pull up the chart and use your own analysis. So I love this feedback. It sounds like it's working, and I'm just really happy you told me that. So thank you. Thank you, Taylor. Anything else, brother? Do you want to ask a question while I'm here?
That's pretty much all I got. I mean, I wanted to urge you to keep doing what you're doing, because it is really helpful. And I'm exactly who you're saying. Like I have another job that I work, and
Yeah,
all of a sudden a tweet notification pops up from you, and I drive a lot, and I'll pull over and check out what price action's going on, and
good.
see if it's a useful, if I can use it myself. You know what I mean? So
Are you part of Bitcoin Live yet, or no?
no, I'm not. I think fortunately for me, like how often I pay attention to crypto or whatever, that
Yeah, yeah,
Twitter is useful enough for me.
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, keep driving safe, brother. I appreciate you very much. Glad you were here.
All right. Thanks, Chad. See ya.
Thank you, buddy. Folks, hit that button. I want you to join the conversation. Let's go with Ryan. Ryan H.
Hey, Cheds, thanks for inviting me up, and thanks for all your postings that you do, like everyone else is saying.
Good morning.
Good morning. My question has to do with allocation.
Yeah, sure.
I was wondering what your system or style you do for like allocating to something long term versus trading in short term, and also like among maybe different cryptocurrencies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or stocks.
Sure,
Can you
sure.
can you talk to that?
Yeah, and so I'll caveat that I'll be honest. I'll tell you everything I'm doing, but I'll caveat that like you should always take it with a grain of salt, because like my life, your life, whoever's listening, we all have different like financial needs, risk tolerance, risk threshold, like, and it's fluid for me too. So like what I say now might change like tomorrow if something happens that I need to change, right? So I always encourage people to be careful when trying to compare what they're doing to someone else's, like investment strategy, right? I'm not like an investment person, an investment advisor. I'm a chart nerd. I'm a newbie helper. I'm an educator, a trader, an author. But I'll tell you what I do. So I would never hold long term anything other than Bitcoin or Ethereum. I think everything else is pretty much nonsense. Um, that's just how I feel. And I think Bitcoin's the safest one because of the scarcity. I think Ethereum, it's higher beta, higher risk to reward than Bitcoin, but it's a little bit higher risky, a little bit riskier, but it's still probably going to stick around. So I think I'm comfortable holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. That being said, there was a point where I sold all my crypto after 2021. I announced, like I literally announced I was selling most of my Bitcoin around 60K. And then I sold the remainder at like 40K. And I bought back in at 18.5, right? Because I'm a trader. Like I'm not going to hold, I don't hold downtrends, because like 90% of my losses have been in my career have been holding downtrends. And so I'm trying to learn my lesson. So that's kind of answering crypto. And so I'm holding Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. I'll probably still hold them unless the market completely, collapses. I'm also a big fan of dividends, like for stocks. I like to target stuff like a 5% or higher dividend yield. I like AT&T or 3M, or even like Pfizer is almost 5%. Stuff like that. Coca-Cola is like whatever 3%. So I look for dividend stocks around 5%, and I try to scale in when they're at monthly support. So I'm not buying. I'm still using my trend analysis. So I'm still trying to build a position around support. Like I'm not just going to buy when it's overextended. So that's kind of my approach. Is I have a dividend fund. I like passive investment. I have Bitcoin and Ethereum. I trade alts a lot. Like I'll trade anything, but I don't believe in any of these quote unquote projects. Like these are just altcoins are just vehicles for speculation. There's nothing real about them to me. And again, this is just my approach. There's people who are listening who are much better at fundamental analysis, and I'm sure they've figured out what's real and what's not. I don't have that approach. I let the price do that for me. So I will play uptrends. I'll buy dips and uptrends. I'll sell shorts and downtrends. I'll sell rips and downtrends. And I'll accumulate Bitcoin and Ethereum unless the market does like a major topping like it did back in November 2021. And again, I tweeted that out live, like I talked about it. So I try to be as transparent as I can with what I'm doing.
Sweet. Thank you, Chet. Oh, and just one quick follow-up
Sure,
question.
sure.
So I understand that it is very fluid.
Yeah,
But how, like, but
yeah.
so even even taking right now, for example, like how do you decide what percentage of your portfolio to put
What portfolio?
towards?
Like my
Uh,
full investment portfolio?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just
Let's
it's
go with
like to even answer that may not add value because like we have a different life. We probably have different familial situations, expenses, and everything. I mean, crypto is a small part of my overall investment portfolio. It's like less than 15%,
got
right?
it.
Like I'm not
Okay.
gonna. I mean, but I trade. I mean, I'll trade stuff like crazy, but like I'm not gonna just sit there and hold like ADA. Like I'm not. I'm not a glutton for
Yeah.
punishment. Earlier in my career, I did that, and I just got burned. Right, like refusing to sell for a loss. Refusing to admit like I made a mistake. You know what I mean? Like I just don't do that anymore. So, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm probably the same as you. Actually, at this
Yeah.
point, it's just sometimes I feel like maybe, and not just specific to crypto, but like just overall portfolio should, um, not be going in and out as
Yeah. I
much.
hear
But
that. I hear that. Yeah.
that's working for me. Over holding like I have done in the past and got
Yeah.
hurt. So uh,
Have you
anyway,
have you
thank you,
joined
Chad.
Bitcoin Live yet, or have you checked that out?
No, no, I haven't really even checked it out. I am, part of a different group
Mm-hmm.
right now that,
I'll
but
tell you. So I've been doing it for 5 years. I do a twice a week report. I haven't missed one in 4 years. And when you sign up, you get access to everyone's stuff. And like right now, it's ridiculous sale right now. It's like $27 or 3 months. And when you sign up, you can go back and watch like 500 videos from me. You can see how I've covered the market, how other people have covered the market. There's free reports too. You can just watch to get a sense of what I do, what we do. All that stuff's pinned like my Twitter, my pinned tweet on Twitter. But it's the best platform out there for learning how to trade crypto. There's like nothing close to it. So
awesome. Yeah, and for 27, I'll probably do that for the next couple of months, if
yeah,
nothing else. So thanks,
appreciate you, man.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care, folks. I want to hear from you. We have one person waiting. I'll bring you up in a second. This is Ask Me Anything at 34. Episode 34. The rest of them are on my YouTube channel at Cheds Trading. I mentioned the 5-year anniversary sale at Bitcoin Live. You do not want to sleep on this sale. It's only going on for the next week. It's a wonderful opportunity. Even at full price, it's like a ridiculous value. But right now, I want you to request to speak. Hit that button in the bottom left. I want to bring you into the conversation. I want to hear your questions. I want to help create value with the conversation. So please request to speak. Coach, let's go ahead, Coach. What's going on, man? Coach Chad.
Big Cheds, how you doing today,
Good,
man?
brother. What's happening with you?
All right. Man, just getting the Monday going, man, and enjoying the conversation. Saw you on here and had to jump
Yeah.
in yeah, man. Always enjoy your takes, man, whether I agree with them or not, and that's the important part,
I don't want people, if
Um,
we all agreed, and first of all, happy Monday. If we all agreed, man, like the price would never move. So like that'd be it'd be
exactly.
so boring.
Exactly, no doubt about it. It's like having like a trained society where
Yes.
everyone does the same thing. Like, who wants to
It's
live in
so
that,
bad.
right?
It'd be so bad.
So,
Yeah.
right on. Hey, I've been listening earlier,
Yeah.
man, and talking about your allocations
Yeah.
to Bitcoin
Sure,
and
sure.
Ethereum, and I've been in the space for about 5-6
Okay.
years, and with these alts, man, it's just, boy, they can run
Oh
for
yeah.
you and have made me some really
Yeah.
good money. But at the same time, man, it's gotten to the point where I have a hard time putting my money back into them. All right, because they are just the spaces, you just don't know who is going to, you don't know, your allocation, you spread it out for a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, put 1,000 here,
Sure, sure, sure.
in like a DeFi protocol that you think is right. Anyways, long story short is that, I have a feeling that we're coming to a point that are going to be a few that are going to be used, and now we have this meme coin
Yeah.
thing going
Yep.
on,
Create your own
which is
meme
very
coin, right? Create your own meme.
which is yeah, right, which is very interesting when it comes to, I'm looking at it and going, okay, the market is pretty flat right now, trying to get people involved. We are in a bear, to a point. And also, I mean, is this something that'll bring people into crypto more seamlessly? Will that help the atmosphere, man? It's just a tough
Sure, sure.
question, but I want to get your thoughts on something of that nature. But I did like your quote about the alts, because I've invested in I've been in here 5 years, and there's so many that I invested in that are now gone. I mean, they're just gone.
These are trades,
And
not investments, right? Like,
there you go. There you go.
most,
Yes.
And again, thanks for stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice each cycle, it's the newer coins that do well, right? Like Sol came out of nowhere, even like what GRT came out of nowhere. Like the newer coins do the best. So it's like when people hold on to these dino coins, these dinosaur coins, and they think, well,
Right.
last cycle it made this great move. So if I just buy here and I keep adding, eventually I'll be rewarded. But that's not how it works, because you have the concept of relative strength and relative weakness. So when the whole market moves, the stronger coins do better, that were better before the move, that were stronger before the move, will outperform, and the weaker coins are going to have weaker bounces. So you don't want to be just stacking weaker coins, and you especially don't want to be stacking these older dino coins. Like, the market moves on. Like, you need retail for any kind of incredible run, and you need new fresh money. And when people get burned, they don't go back. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough because people can very easily get believe the idea of, like I just said, maybe I'm not saying it that well, but people can just believe, all I got to do is buy this one because it ran last time and it's going to run again. So the challenge is, how do you find the new coins? I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a fundamental analyst. I just kind of wait till people start talking about something, and then I go look at the chart, and I look for a nice little entry, and I try to take advantage of a dip in an uptrend or something like that. Meme coins. Yeah. I mean, so DeFi came out of nowhere, and that created a lot of excitement in the environment, in the ecosphere, and in the marketplace, and that's good. Maybe this will do it. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time kind of speculating on that, because I'm not great with the fundamentals. I just think as long as Bitcoin at least stays above like 25K, we're in great shape, and that just leaves room for other things to happen. It leaves room for the rest of the market to breathe. It leaves room for meme coins to do their thing, and maybe some new projects, quote unquote projects, to come along and do something. I just don't think these things, like the whole concept of like utility, to me is kind of like, it's a mistake to focus on that, because these are just vehicles for speculation, right? And again,
I can't tell you how many dead altcoins that I thought had utility.
Yeah.
Okay. Or would tell you
They'll
they had
tell you,
utility. And yes, they tell you have utility. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And it's nice talking to you, man, because it's been a little while. And I don't want to take up too much more time, but I did jump in that new sale again.
Awesome.
I was with you last year.
Great.
And you did, April last year was a tough month, right? And so I did. You spoke about, hey, I'm getting out, and I don't like the way this is structured and everything, and that definitely helped. And so I did jump on that sale,
awesome.
man. It's $27, man,
it's
for 3
literally
months.
ridiculous.
It is. It's ridiculous. And not only that, man, I mean, you got the whole host of it. I'm not just going to parade Bitcoin Live, but dude, you guys got some great analysts, all different ways of looking at things, conservative, risky, and just excellent people, man. So I'm glad to be back in there with you, and glad to hear you on here, man.
I love that feedback, man. I love, the analyst team, we don't get together and come up with talking points. Like, I honestly don't even look at what they're saying. Like, I just be me, and then I let people kind of take from each of us, the value. So,
yeah, dude, when you get to be yourself, that's when life happens, man. That's when the best things in life, man, when you become yourself, man. So good stuff, man.
You have a wonderful day, bro.
Right
Peace
on.
out.
Hey, you do the same. Later on.
Love this. I love this. All right, let's go, Taylor. Taylor, what's up, bud?
Hey, Cheds. Thanks for letting me talk again. I'm trying not to be a microphone hog here, but I did actually have a question.
Go for it.
As opposed to my comment earlier. So my question is on moving averages.
Sure.
it seems like every different person has a different time frame, or like a
Yes.
99 SMA. The
Have you watched my
200-day.
masterclass webinar yet, by the way, on YouTube?
No, I apparently need to drop some money and just get
No, it's free. YouTube. No,
invitable.
free. It's free. Go to my
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
There's a playlist called Masterclass Webinars. I explain why I use the moving averages I do. I talk about exponential versus simple moving averages. I talk about the concept of time frames, volume, candlestick basis. It's really what you need to understand, because it can be really confusing. And there's a reason why I use what I use, and it's really because the price uses it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I explain
Right.
my whole method. There's 3 beginner and 1 advanced master class. They're all free, and they're ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they're free. I'm really proud of them. That will give you a great basis of knowledge. So go to YouTube, go to my playlist, master class tutorials, and you're gonna love it.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's going to be useful. I started watching a lot of your videos, I guess, naturally, like some people do during the bull market when everything's great and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think everything works and everything like that. And then when you start losing money, you get discouraged.
yes.
I'm trying to get back into I understand now when money is made, and it's definitely not at the top. So
When you get
um,
discouraged, you got to step away a little bit and then add back some confidence by brushing up on your skills. It's really the only way to do it.
right, absolutely. I'm wanting to see if this is an example of that. What
Yeah.
you talked with, which moving averages actually respect price
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
have, and I see people put up charts of like the 200 week moving average, which
Yes.
seems a little crazy that anybody would have any price memory back 200 weeks. I mean,
Well, it's
when you look at
classical
a chart,
charting.
maybe.
That's classical charting. That's been around for 100 years. And so 200 MA is the trend in classical charting, Western technical analysis, versus like Eastern TA, Japanese candlesticks. So if you ask someone like, is this an uptrend or a downtrend? You immediately look at the 200 moving average, right?
Okay.
Simple moving average, equal weighted over 200 periods. And the price with the rising 200 moving average and the price above it is a confirmed uptrend, right? So
Right.
200 is incredibly important. Really, really important. Go watch the webinar. You're going to love it, man. All right.
Okay. I appreciate all the help. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Come back next time. Let me know how it goes. All right.
All right. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Taylor. Folks, hit the button to request to speak. These spaces go on as long as I have people who want to ask questions, right? I don't want to just talk myself. Vincent Castio, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Cheds?
Hanging.
I've got a question here.
Yeah.
Too. I'm a little frightened of trading crypto, because to me it's like a protocol searching for a use case for most of this stuff, and it's real volatile. I don't know if it.
Yeah. I love the vol. First of all, frightened is good because it means you're conditioned to manage your risk and to protect yourself, which I think is a great position to start from. However, as a trader, volatility is actually what it's like. I have a quote in my quotes book. It goes something like, "Volatility to a trader is like water to a farmer. Without either, nothing will grow."
I'm not so much afraid of the volatility. I'm
Yeah,
afraid of, is the exchange going to be there tomorrow?
yeah, that's a problem. That is a problem in this space, and I don't know the solution to it. The one I talk about, BingX, is really solid, and I've worked with them for like 3 or 4 years. Um,
Being
BingX, yeah. There's a in the tweet at the top of the spaces. There's like a pinned tweet, and it's also on my Twitter page. But like in general, it's hard. That's like how to like even with the self custody, like Celsius and all the Voyager, all these things, like that's an issue in this space, and I don't know the solution to it other
I
than
look
yeah,
money on Razor. I'm not a tech guy, and they kept
yeah.
updating.
It's hard, man. It's really that is an impediment for the space to grow, and that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Um, and
So I don't.
I
I
feel you, and I share your feelings on that.
I don't think it's really ready for anything. It's going to take years. So
Yep, sure.
my question is, I like to
Hmm.
trade. stock market where I feel safer.
Mm-hmm.
And trade MicroStrategy or Coinbase or
Sure. Yeah.
Riot.
Yes.
What do you think about doing the derivative of Bitcoin?
I think it's a very reasonable strategy to trade like Riot or Mara or MicroStrategy as a proxy. But I think you need to, for example, like between, I think off the top of my head, let me look them up. But like you want to choose, again, you're using the same concepts of trend analysis. You want to use relative strength. So between, let me look right now, Mara and then Riot. One of the two is clearly stronger than the other. So let me just take a look. Let me just see. There's
The
Mara.
Riot is. I don't really trade them. I like MicroStrategies. That one is the
Yeah.
papa of.
The big papa, right? Let's see MicroStrategy. Yeah, I mean it's still basing. It's still the problem. MicroStrategy can't get back up above 350. It's kind of trendless right now. It's gone sideways, for a year. But in general, yeah, Riot is much stronger than Marathon. So like I'd be playing Riot over Marathon. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable approach, to be honest with you. To trade those proxies, for
Right.
equity proxies, I think it's fine. Absolutely right. Absolutely reasonable.
And you think 25 is your number? You go below 25 for a day or two, you're out.
No, well, I wouldn't necessarily be out, but it's a couple things. So it's a great question. So first of all, 25 is if you look at the weekly chart, it completed a inverted head and shoulders, and 25 to 25.5 was the confirmation or the trigger level. It's called the
Right.
neck baseline.
Right.
And so you want to hold that. Like anytime you have a breakout, you want to hold that on the retest. And we inched back towards that. Maybe we tested again, maybe not. But if we get back below that, that's a sign that bulls were not able to hold that rising demand. Now,
Right.
but if it's for a day or two, I'd be looking for a deviation. Meaning, do we dip below for a day or two
Right.
and get back up above it? Because then that would be a bear trap that just happened. I'm
Exactly.
always looking for the market to try to screw me. I'm always looking for the market to try to fake me out. So I love playing deviations. I love taking a short on something that just broke out and then failed to hold it, or I love going long on something that just tried to break down and then it failed to hold the breakdown. So I stay fluid. I wouldn't like sell everything. I mean, if I don't have my full position from 18K, I've taken a lot of profit. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily just sell, but I'd be a little bit more cautious if we break back below 25 for sure.
Yeah. The problem with selling is
Hmm.
wanting to chase. Don't get in as much and as
Hmm.
of a position that you had, and then you tend to watch.
Well,
And
you can scale in and scale out, which is a nice approach, where you kind of take partial profits or you can do partial sells. Because every time you do that, your remaining decisions are easier because it represents a smaller percentage of your risk assets. So I try to structure my approach to where I'm not making kind of all or none decisions, right? I'm trying to structure everything in a way that I'm giving myself flexibility.
right, so it's a percentage of how much you've got in
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
each time. Yeah, I usually get scared. I just go, okay, I'm getting out. I've got money
Yeah.
because I'm sick of losing money. I mean, the
Oh, I
main thing.
hate it. Oh, I hate it. That's why I love playing poker, but if I start losing money, I'll just step away. Like I could never like lose a lot of money in the casino because just like as soon as I start, I'm like, I don't like this, and I just get up.
When I
Um,
first
you know.
Bitcoin, but yeah, this is an anti-government. It's perfect. But I've been this hodler. It's every you hodl, and it's just
Yeah.
so. I've listened to you, and I go, you make the most sense. I mean, hodl. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Hodl to bankruptcy?
I know, right? I know. I speak from experience too, and I'm not always right. I'm just kind of it's just speaking through my own lived experience.
Me too.
So yeah,
Count up. You sit back and you just feel so intelligent and a great trade, and then I'm gonna add more if it comes down, and you add. It's just like your profits deteriorate. Now I'm almost negative. How did I lose all this money?
you got to have a couple fundamental things going on. One of them is that you have to refuse to add to a losing trade. You have to have every trade, even every investment has to have a failure point where the idea fails.
Right.
Like I'm long here because And when that idea fails, you're out. So you have to literally refuse to add to losing trades. Like trends will continue. Losers average losers.
I understand that and I agree, but in my own personal trading,
Yeah,
it's funny when something goes down, I know we're going to get maybe a movement to the mean, and then I
yeah,
get out. I'm so great
that's
at getting,
reasonable. That's very reasonable. Yeah.
then the thing bounces. And if I would have, so now what I do when I'm can't eat anymore,
Hmm.
I buy another one. And I just hope, sometimes I get burnt more, but other times,
Yeah,
end of the day, I'm at close break even or I'm down $50 or something. And I
sure.
just, instead of losing a lot of money. So I
All
wait
right.
for the first bounce.
Smart. Well, look, keep it up. Keep trying. Have you checked out my YouTube yet? Do you watch that stuff?
You know, I'm an old guy and I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get on that thing.
Okay, no problem. No problem,
So
brother.
go to YouTube and you just look for your channel.
Just type Cheds Trading into YouTube.
And then I'll see all your stuff.
You'll see all my stuff. I also encourage you to check out Bitcoin Live. We have our 5-year anniversary sale. It's a really wonderful value.
How do I do?
What's that?
How do I do that?
So you go to my Twitter page, and it's the pinned tweet. It's the first tweet on my Twitter page, and there's a link to the sale. It's an unbelievable deal, and I'm one of like 6 or 7 analysts, and I do a twice a week full market report. I haven't missed a report in over 4 years. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, and I'm just when you sign up, you get access to everyone's content.
I see. Join here.
Yep.
Right
Really
there.
encourage you to check it out. I'm really proud of our work there.
Yeah, listen, out of everybody that I've listened to, and I love Peter Brandt, and I'm glad that you guys are on the same page a lot of the times. But I see his tweets, and
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, he's going, "Hey, man, this is a Head and Shoulders. Beware."
Yeah. Well, I talked about that context of the Head and Shoulders in my last few updates because I don't want to get too detailed here, but just basically it's a smaller Head and Shoulders inside the larger Head and Shoulders.
Right. Exactly. It's really funky, but
yeah.
Head and Shoulders. You know what the percentage is on that winning and losing? It's 50%. It's
yeah. All right, brother. I'm really glad you stepped up today, and check in next time I do one of these. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Cheds.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Vincent. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Let's go with High on BTC.
Hello, man. Thank you for having me there
What's
again.
going on, buddy?
Yeah. I just want to ask you, I've been learning a lot from the candlestick patterns.
Oh, good.
So I want to know, which one should I focus on, the bigger pattern, for example, the inverse head and shoulders, or should I focus more on the candlestick?
Well, you can't
For
do
example,
one. First of all, it's not one or the other because, well, first of all, have you been to my YouTube channel yet? And have you watched the masterclass tutorials?
I'm watching first the 50
Oh,
lessons.
good.
Then I'm
Okay,
going to
you need to, but if you're trying to apply the technical ability, I mean, 50 lessons, it's a lot of psychology, especially the earlier lessons. You need to go to the playlist called Masterclass Tutorials. And I talk about blending the Eastern and Western TA. So like so like for a Head and Shoulders, if you're going to play the Head and Shoulders, there's 2 things you really need to pay attention to. The first thing is where the pattern completes, which is the neck baseline. And the other one is where the pattern would invalidate, which would be a right shoulder failure. So you're marking levels, horizontal levels. I talk about why horizontal levels in those tutorials. In Japanese candlestick signals, these are all short-term signals. So that allows you to kind of time your entry when the price is at a key level. So like it's context. Like if you're using candlesticks, you want to use them with the Bollinger Bands, right? You want a reversal candle at the lower Bollinger for a bull reversal candle and a bear one at the upper Bollinger. So it's a lot of context. Without practice, without reading textbooks, it's really hard to understand that. I try to make it simple and easy to digest in my videos. So, I mean, that's really the first place to start if you're asking that question would be that playlist on YouTube.
I watch it now.
Yeah.
So
you should also check out Bitcoin Live. The sale is unbelievable. You really should check it out.
Okay, I'll check it out. Can I pay with Bitcoin?
Yes,
or
pay
just
with Bitcoin.
No. Okay, I see. So I want to ask a personal question. I don't know if you can answer. When you had cancer, were you trading?
I did, but not as much. I didn't try. And it's a great question. And
And if you trade, how did you feel while being sick and like trading the
Yes.
emotions? How
So
was
here's what
it?
I'll tell you. It's a great question, and I talk about this in my cancer memoir. When I was going through chemo, going through radiation, having crypto to focus on helped me not to be as depressed. It helped me. The fact that I was still a pretty decently sized account at that point in Twitter. I had like 15, 20, 30,000 followers. I had already built up a really good reputation as like a newbie helper, a chart nerd. And I leaned into that. And you know, having that to focus on helped me not to focus too much on the fact that I was fighting cancer. So I still traded, I still did analysis, I still taught, I did my education stuff. And that was a nice way for me to distract myself from chemotherapy. Like if you see my tweets, I was live tweeting like during chemo. You know what I mean? I was still
Wow.
watching the market, and so crypto helped. It really helped me out. It really helped. I leaned into it. I focused on it more. If that makes sense.
I see. That's inspiring because it's hard to see someone like sick,
Yeah,
like and with a high chance of probably dying, and like still keep going. That's very
I
inspiring,
had
man.
to, brother.
Thank you.
First, I had a pretty good chance. When I was initially diagnosed, I had like an 85% chance to beat the cancer. Um, because I was young and pretty healthy. I felt like it was 100%, but it was scary to think about that. The 1 in 8 chance. I mean, but going through chemo sucked. I mean, there's no two ways about it. But you know, again, crypto and the Twitter community really helped keep my spirits up. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you,
Thank you.
brother.
That's
Check out
all.
all my stuff. Thank you,
I
man.
will, I will watch it.
All right,
Thank you very much.
great conversation. Let's go with I forget who was next. I apologize. And folks, hit the button to request to speak in the bottom left. I'd like to bring you up and hear from you. Help add value. Nicole, what's going on?
Yes, hello, Cheds. I don't have any question. I'm calling from Switzerland,
Oh,
and I'm just and I'm just amazed that I can talk to you while lying on the sofa.
isn't that
I
cool?
just I just wanted to thank you very much
Oh,
because you're never cynical, and you always treat beginners with decency, and that's really valuable. And I thank you for your books. I've
oh,
read one.
thank you.
And that's it. Thank you for your content, which is always very interesting and solid.
Oh, you're super kind. When I started out, I had a couple key mentors who helped me out, and that meant a lot to me because I felt so helpless. When I was getting started, and kind of since then, my whole thing has been helping new traders avoid my old mistakes. You
Yeah,
know,
that's really a good idea. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you. Check out Bitcoin Live. I'm really proud of
I
the work
do.
we do there.
I
Okay,
do. I do. Okay. Bye
good.
bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nicole. Let's go with Boondock Queens.
Hi, Cheds. Good morning.
Good
How are
morning. How
you?
are you today?
Oh, I'm well. I'm well. Thank you. Hey, listen, I just absolutely love you. I listen to you as much as I
Oh,
can. And, thank you for all the content. And I direct as many people to your Twitter feed as
oh,
possible. And, even for someone that thinks they know a lot, I am joining Bitcoin Live
you got
today.
to do it. You're
So,
so nice to say that. I
yeah,
love how I get to talk to you folks and you come up and like tell me how great I am. I mean, it's super nice.
you are. You're
Well, it's
fantastic.
about you guys.
I cannot put a value on the content that you put out for
Mm,
people. I mean, it's really unbelievable that you put your master class, everything. I've gone through it. I've read your books,
mm.
and I really really value the content you put
I'll
out.
send you the check after the show for saying that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I wanted to back up just for
Yeah,
a minute,
sure, sure.
to when you guys were talking about trading Bitcoin
Yeah.
proxies. It's really how I got into crypto, was trading the Mara and the riots and all the Bitcoin
Hmm.
miners. One cautionary thing I just want to tell people that are looking at that is, I got in on them in 2020, when they were just following Bitcoin to the just on the money with Bitcoin up and down. They were putting out, some speculative news of what they were going to do, and their hash rates, things like that. You got to be careful buying into those now, because a lot of them will have the shelf offerings that have been sitting there. They've got loans that are due now, so they're really, where they had done a lot of fundraising back a couple of years ago. These nuts are due now, so just kind of be careful trading those.
I think that's reasonable, very reasonable.
Look into their filings, their SEC filings. Some of them are old, where they can still pull out and just dump that offering right on your head when you're not looking.
I've always felt betrayed by these companies when I'm holding them and they come out and they dilute the share structure. I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah. Well, that's how I really got turned on into crypto in the first place. So, I'd like to say I'm lucky that I retired when I was 48, just 4 years ago, going on 4 years ago. I wasn't lucky. I earned it. I owned bars in New York City. So I came out of that after, almost 30 years of working 18-hour
Oh,
days.
what a grind.
So I wasn't
What a
lucky. I
grind.
earned my early retirement. And
Good.
just a little trivia fact: one of the people that used to sit at my bar all the time was the Wolf of all Streets.
Oh, Scott Melker?
Yeah, Scott.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
when I came, yeah, when I came onto FinTwit, I was like, wait a minute, I know this guy.
Wow.
So yeah, I jumped on his YouTube before, and we
That's
laughed
crazy.
because who would have thought all the years later?
Yeah.
But one of the things that got me into crypto also was the adrenaline. Just kind of, I guess I missed a lot of that, from sitting in the mountains of Wyoming and Idaho now. So one thing I really learned from you to hone in on was to trade my levels and not to be married to anything. I'm in and I'm out. I'm all stable coin right now. I've been on the sidelines just because I needed to take a little break, a little
That's so
mental
smart.
break,
You have to
also.
safeguard your emotions and your mental state. I think too many people just take that for granted.
Yeah. And my style of trading, I've kind of pulled some of yours over what I learned on my own, which was, I learned how to chart. I really traded trend lines. That was kind of what I honed in on. And if it broke that trend line, I was out, and then I would just wait. But my biggest lesson was just trying to learn to let go, and not to sit in the trade. Was learning to kind of, like, you're my part-time girlfriend. That's how I just try to look at it. So I do have a question for
Okay.
you. Sorry, I
That's
was
good.
just
No, very good.
trying to
Please.
tell you how much I appreciated you after listening all
Thank
this
you.
time
Thank you.
too. Um, the overall state of the economy. I'm older. I'm 51. I've gone through the crash in '08. I bought in back then, when everybody else was getting out, and I don't know if it's doom and gloom or because I'm older and wiser. It just feels like everything is just so off. Like there is, if anybody goes to I was just in the grocery store, and I'm looking at prices, and, I saved my money over the years and I invested my money. I'm comfortable. I found trading to be a very good supplement to my retirement. My husband still works, of course, but, and I'm world's worst housewife, by the way. So I still have to make money to pay people to come and like clean and do stuff like that. But I really have this overwhelming, impending feeling that something really bad's going to happen. And my question to you is just sort of, how do you see the next 12 to 14 months in the economy in general?
So thank you for being honest and kind of sharing your perspective. And I think that the one thing people miss is that we're all approaching this from a different place, and there's some overlap, of course. And you're bringing your experience with '08 and just your life experience. I think a lot of it's baked in. I mean, I believe in the efficient market hypothesis that like all public information is built into the price. And I often say, if you're worried about the news, then focus on the price, because like it either holds support or not. But But to kind of riff a little bit, I just think we're looking at sideways action, chop sideways action, trendless. I don't see things falling off a cliff. I think there's still too much money out there. I think the people, the oligarchs, the people running the world, they're not going to let the stock market go to, collapse. Any kind of like dip will be bought up. But I generally see choppy sideways action, especially in Bitcoin for the rest of the year. I don't see us going to all-time highs this year at all. No question. No, like I think very little chance. And I said that back in like January, February. So it's easier now, in May. But I'd see choppy, trendless for a little while. But I just don't think things are going to collapse. I just, I think a lot of the fear is baked in. I just feel that way.
Well, that is good to hear, and I don't know if it's just I have a lot of time on my hands
Good,
now,
good.
so I did. Yeah, I earned it.
Yeah, you
Trust
did. Yeah,
me,
you
I
did.
earned it.
Oh, you kidding me? Service industry is a grind.
Yeah, well, that is the other thing is that I know I can't go back
Nope,
to
nope,
that. I am
nope.
I'm very old school. I tried to a couple of years ago, and I literally ended up firing every
Huh?
employee, shutting house down, and I put it up for
Wow.
sale. So I know I'm just kind of, maybe old school and I just can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
So trading it is for me. But yeah, I did want to tell you how much I appreciated,
Thank you.
Everything that you put out there.
Appreciate you
So
so much. Glad you joined us today. Thank you.
yeah,
All right,
thank
cool.
you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We have some speaking slots available. Again, I will continue until there are no more people who want to join the conversation. Sovereign Horizon, I think we've had you on before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks a lot, Cheds. Some really great questions and answers, and I think I will finally have to take a look at Bitcoin Live with the sale.
You have to.
Because
It's ridiculous.
yeah, I've been following Bob Lucas for a few years.
He's excellent. He's excellent.
Yeah, so that's like two flies in one go, I guess. So
Sure.
yeah,
Absolutely. So what's going on? How you doing?
yeah, great. I just have a trading question for you regarding using leverage.
Okay.
So if you're planning on using 5% of your portfolio for a position and you plan on
For one position?
yeah, like
5% of
that's
your
your
5% of your entire portfolio, or 5% of like a trading
trading
portfolio for them? Okay, that's
trading it.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. Okay.
yeah. Do you if you have if you plan to use like upwards of 5x leverage, do you scale that in depending on how your position is going, or how would you tackle that?
I mean, the
If you plan to use
5% is a lot to use for leverage. 5% is really high, but and
5x or
I
5%?
what's that?
You mean 5x?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. 5% for any leverage trade. 5% is like pretty big, but
Okay, gotcha.
I generally, if I'm leverage trading, I'm pretty a low leverage guy. I like 2-3x. Generally, just my personal preference. But I will say, scaling in is fine, but it's what I tend to do though is break up my position. So let's say I want to put like $1,000 into a trade, right? I'll do 5 $200 positions, right, rather than one $1,000 position. I'll break it up, which will then allow me to move it up to different stop loss levels. If the trade starts to work out, I can move a couple position stop losses up to break even, maybe into profit. If the trade starts to go south, I could close out 3 of those 5 and maybe keep 2. So I've designed my way. Again, I'm not doing high level. I don't like to go more than 2 or 3x. I'll do multiple positions to give myself flexibility based on what the price is doing. So I just be careful with leverage, keep it low, and I still think even 5% is a lot of your total trading portfolio for leverage, because leverage can go against you very quickly. And if you do, make sure you have a good stop loss that you stick to.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking if you're using leverage, that obviously increases the chances of getting whipsawed on your stop loss, I guess.
100%, 100%.
yeah, thanks a lot. That's
Pre-
valuable.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Look forward to hearing from you again. All right. All right. Let's go with Roth Bari. What is up, buddy?
Hey, Cheds, how's
I'm
it
pretty
going?
good, man. How are you today?
Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. I'm just dialing in from the
No
UK.
kidding, huh?
Have been a long-term listener for you, dude. So thank you very much. You've done really, really well. You and the guys always put great effort
Well,
into
thank
it.
you for saying that.
No problem. I have to give you some appreciation if everybody was.
It's okay. You don't have to, but I appreciate it.
That's how good. But yeah. I mean, well, a lot of people have answered some of the questions as I've been waiting, just in regards to what you think the current climate's going to be. Because I mean, obviously we've got the Bitcoin halving next year, though, so we kind of anticipate it to rally somewhat, or perhaps have like a small alt season on the way. But I mean, well, forget that anyway. My real question I'm coming to you is, what's your favorite indicators? And yeah, tell us why, a little bit about them.
So, all right, good questions. So first of all, have you seen have you watched my masterclass tutorials on YouTube?
I have. I've watched some of them.
So
Yes.
that talks about, the ones I use. My favorite indicators probably would be like the Bollinger Bands and the EMA 8, those two. So I like the Bollinger Bands because it allows me to use my Japanese candlesticks more effectively. So like a nice hammer candle at the lower Bollinger. Like if you look at the daily chart for Bitcoin, I'll try to give you folks listening, a real example. My screen. There we go. So if I'm going to the daily chart on Bitcoin, if you pull up the March 10th, we had a hammer candle below the lower Bollinger Band. Like that's kind of crazy, and there was good volume on it. So you had a nice confluence of signals. You got a nice hammer candle reversal below the lower Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands, when you kind of break outside of them, it's a movement outside of a standard deviation of volatility, and often you'll get a reversion to the mean, back to the middle Bollinger. So I really like the Bollinger Bands. They've been really just really helpful in my own trading and my own analysis over the years. EMA 8 is unbelievable. Exponential moving average. It means it's more sensitive to the most recent price action. So, for example, in EMA 8, the most recent candle has more price weighting than 7 candles before that, right? So EMA 8 is unbelievable. When you have a breakout, the price will often use the EMA 8 as support for several touches. The price will oscillate between upper Bollinger and EMA 8. And so EMA 8, I call it primary uptrend support, or in a downtrend is primary downtrend resistance. It's just really, really good. And the price uses it, so I use it. So
right.
yeah,
Okay. I'll have to have a look into
definitely.
that. What do you think? What do you think about people using smart money concepts? Like I know I've been looking at it. It's quite
What is it
interesting.
again?
Apparently,
What
smart
does that
money
mean?
concepts. I think it's called Lux Algo. So basically, it's looking where the smart money's putting its money, not the retail investors. In terms of, I think it's in terms
Like
of
on-chain
liquidity.
stuff?
So
Like on-chain? Or?
yeah. I think it's on chain. I believe it's on chain. I'm not too sure. It's just something I picked up off other traders online on
Yeah, I
YouTube.
honestly don't like
But
that. I don't like that. I think anytime you start to look outside of other than sentiment, which is my caveat, I use sentiment, and that's outside of the chart. But anytime you're looking
yeah.
outside of the chart, it's going to draw you. It might lead you to come to a conclusion that then will like convince you to kind of ignore when the price breaks support, or when it breaks out. Like it will lead you to ignore a clue in the price. Like the price filters all that stuff out. If that information it matters, then the price will break resistance or it will break support. Like, so why overcomplicate it, right? You literally just have to look at price relationship to support and resistance, and look at price momentum and the clues the price is giving you. The price is the best fundamental analyst in the world, is the price. So I just generally do not like, and again, this is my approach. There are way better traders than me probably listening to this, and they may do that, but that's their method. This is my method. This is what I talk about. This is what I teach. I just let the price do all that work for me. Try not to look outside of the chart, right? Try to just focus on price and maybe sentiment. Sentiment's a big one as well, because we are emotional creatures, and we tend to get really fearful at the bottom and really excited, at the top.
Well, that's it. Like, I mean, all our indicators, everything's just based on what the most people are doing, isn't it? The majority of
Sure.
people. So I guess we do need to be thinking slightly different, not too different though, in respect of it. So taking your profits and
Yeah,
etc.
absolutely. I think there's room for a lot of methods too. I think if we all approach the market the same way, it would be really boring. And so I'm glad that there's room for a lot of different approaches, and so I definitely welcome that.
Yeah, oh, brilliant,
All right.
brilliant. I mean, this is the first time I've jumped onto your Twitter things before as well, so I don't really
What
use
took you
Twitter
so
often.
long? I always encourage people to
Right,
speak.
I used to use Twitter for so long, and then I just kind of gave up on Twitter a little bit for Instagram.
Okay.
Honestly, I know I've come back just to see what's happening with the Elon situation.
I know.
How often are you on here for?
That's funny. What's that? How often am I on here?
Yeah. When do you come on? What's your schedule for coming on to Twitter?
18 hours a day, 16, 17, 18 hours a day. I am always on Twitter. It's.
Oh no, sorry. I mean for Spaces, for the chat Spaces. Unless you're live on here 18 hours a day.
Well, we have a sale right now for Bitcoin Live, 5-year anniversary. So I'm probably going to do Spaces every day this week, unless my voice goes hoarse, which it may. But I generally do 2 Spaces a month, and you can actually right now go listen to the old ones on my YouTube channel. There's a playlist called Twitter Spaces, and it's an unbelievable resource for new traders. Hundreds of questions. You can listen to question and answer. So if you like this, go to the YouTube channel, check that out, and definitely check out Bitcoin Live, man. I definitely stand behind it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out after work this evening then, because I'm sat in the office. Everyone's looking at me at the moment.
All right, get back to work.
Yeah, no worries. Yes, sir. All right, guys, thank you very much. And look forward to hearing what everyone else has to say.
You. All right, awesome. I don't want to get people fired from their job. So let's go with CK. Connor. What is up, Connor?
Hey, morning, Cheds. Thanks for hosting this. Can you hear me?
Fine, man. How you doing?
Beautiful. Hey, I just want to say lots of appreciation for you. I've been following you since September 2021. So the fake out before we got back into the double top, you actually helped me protect a lot of capital. So really, really appreciate you.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Big time. I as I get older, I really appreciate the asymmetry of losses, trying to catch back up. So risk is key for me. Just riffing off of what somebody else kind of said, talking about, retirement, things like that. I'm just curious, is there a number for you to walk away? And then if there is, how would you encourage somebody else to soul search for that number?
Well, that number is going to depend on your life. I honestly already feel retired at this point. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I work hard at trading and teaching, but I have a ton of hobbies. Like I'm doing martial arts. I'm into art. I love working out. I love my e-bike. I like to just ride around. I love working in my garden, and I spend time with my family. So I kind of already feel retired, and I still like travel and stuff. So I don't know what what would I do that I'm not doing now that I'm not retired. So that's so different. It's hard. I didn't put a number on it, right? And I'm still investing for the future, of course. But I honestly, I already feel like I'm retired. Just to be honest with you.
Okay, has your position changed or sizing changed at all? Shifting to that mindset,
I'm more
or are you still,
for sure. Oh
got
yeah,
it.
for sure. I mean, I was a complete degenerate in my earlier days. I mean, there's no, and I talk about this very candidly in all my work, and all my writings and stuff like that. So I used to be a super degenerate, and I made all the mistakes, a lot of them, and so I can talk about them honestly. And so what I say comes from experience.
For sure. All right. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you. Have a great day,
Thank
man.
you. All right. We have run out of guest speakers. I'll just quickly do a reset. If we have anyone else who wants to speak, we can continue. Otherwise, I will wrap it up. I'm Big Cheds. You can find me on Twitter at Big Cheds. Make sure to go to my YouTube at Cheds Trading. This is Ask Me Anything, episode 34. I've uploaded already, I think, 29 or 30 of the prior ones in the Twitter Spaces playlist. I am, not of course, but I am the author of Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. It's done really well, and thank you for that. There's a free version of that book on my YouTube. Check out the Trading Wisdom playlist. I recently published Trading Quotes back in December. It's 365 original quotes from me, trading psychology, stuff like that. It's available on Amazon. If you're just getting started, trying to figure out how to trade, go to the playlist on my YouTube channel, and the playlist is Masterclass Tutorials. I think there's a lot of value. There's 3 beginner and 1 advanced tutorial. You folks will love that. Excuse me. And I will just reiterate, Bitcoin Live is something I'm a founding analyst. I've been doing market reports there for 5 years. We have our 5-year anniversary. I'm part of just an amazing, amazing world-class team, one that I'm just honored to be part of. And we have a sale right now. It's ridiculous. It's like you get like a initial 3-month membership for $27, which is crazy. Even at regular price, I think it's an unbelievable value because you get access to everyone's content. And what I do there is I do a twice a week full market report, Wednesday and Sunday night, no matter what. It doesn't matter if the market's sideways, you get to hear from me. And we put the market moves into context so we can feel comfortable, we can feel ready for volatility, we know how to deal with it. And if you sign up now, you can go watch like 500 videos from me and see how we've handled the market in the past. I'm really proud of that. So check that tweet at the top of the spaces. Again, if you want to speak, you have a last chance here to hit that request to speak button, and I'll bring you up. If not, I'm just going to wrap it up. It's been a pretty good little spaces here. Just over an hour. Looks like my buddy's coming up only. We got one. What is up? Up only. You were able to sneak in here at the end.
Hey, Chaz, what's up? Can you hear me?
Chilling.
Yeah, just want to say hi. I was watching your video yesterday. I don't know if you covered it or not.
On BCL?
Yeah, Bitcoin
Okay.
Live.
Yeah.
And I was looking at. I actually commented. I don't know if you responded. The
Not yet.
MA200.
I haven't replied to the comments yet from last night.
Okay. Yeah, weekly MA200.
Yep. Yeah.
It looks like on the weekly, it could have been a little bit bounced from last week's candle.
Yeah, I talked about that last night for sure.
Okay. I guess like the big question is like, do you think that's gonna hold, or do you think that's gonna, break down?
Well, it's support until proven otherwise, which means it allows you. It would allow you another long thesis should the price test it again. That being said, I feel like it's secondary to the neck baseline 25.5.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it's a long thesis, but I would give it a probably less rank order, less value than like the 25.5K zone. But the price did bounce off of it. The price did reject there in September. And the price did bounce off of it most recently. So it's one of those things where it's support until proven otherwise. But yeah, I went into it last night in the video report, so definitely check that out.
Yeah, I was thinking like, that has been historically kind of like the mega support, in like the early days of 2019.
It's true, but it's different now. We have to view it a little bit differently because we have to view the longer term. The secular trend is a little bit weaker than it had been in the past because, we've talked about this and, Twitter, BCL, and Spaces. We broke below the prior all-time high for the first time, right? And we spent the most time below the weekly 200 in history, and the slope of it was like 7 degrees of the lowest it's ever been. So we have some signs of weakening long-term trend, which sort of leads me to my conclusion of sideways for most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's been important, but I think we need to keep in mind kind of the context of the recent weakening longer-term trend.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Appreciate it, Jeff.
Appreciate you, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Last one. We'll sneak you in, Serge. Pepe-aholic. Pepe, huh?
What is up, Ched?
Oh, you got Pepe in the house. That's awesome.
All right, man. All right. Hey, well, obviously, I'm more of a narrative and just societal trader and see where people are going. And so I'm wondering if you have charted Pepe
and
there's no chart, brother.
right,
There's no
it's very
history. There's
young,
nothing to
of
do.
course. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm very interested in that. But what do you think about sentiment trades and narratives, especially when we?
Well, sentiment's valuable. Sentiment is very valuable. Narratives, not so much, in my opinion. Again, my opinion, and again, like there's different approaches. I think sentiment is incredibly valuable. Um, like if you notice when Bitcoin was at 15.5, I talked about a sentiment bottom, but I didn't buy in until the price, broke up above 18.5.
Mm-hmm.
The sentiment is so valuable, so powerful. Narratives for me are like fun and just a way to pass the time. Like if the narrative means anything, the price will do something. Like, because I can have two really smart people in the room with me argue like a completely different narrative, and I won't know who to believe. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
it's so speculative. So I feel like narratives are for let's have a glass of wine and smoke a cigar by the fire, and we can talk about a narrative. But
They seem to change very fast.
they really
Yeah.
do. It's like narrative tends to try to catch up with the price.
Right. Right. But sentiment is different. That's a nice distinguishment. I appreciate that. Yes.
I appreciate you. Sentiment is really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
I would not ignore.
Do you have an opinion on sentiment of Pepe?
I don't. I really don't have a feel for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a good feel on that.
Hey, I
All right.
appreciate the honesty. Thanks for holding this.
That's all you get. I appreciate you, man. So glad you stepped
Right
up.
on.
Take care, brother. All right. It's been a wonderful time to do these spaces here on a Monday, Monday the 15th of May. I'd encourage everyone to check out my free stuff on YouTube. Yo, so I'll just wrap it up here, folks. Thank you for the thank you for listening to the replay. This is part of Twitter Spaces series. This is a wonderful series. I'm super proud of. I love the questions. I love the conversation that comes from the questions. It's interactive. I have actually 41. I did number 41 today, and I will upload all of those. This is 34. It will go into this playlist. It's because we have the Bitcoin live sale right now. It ends in 3 hours. Don't worry about it. If you miss it, go to our free blog and you can check out the public blog. I have some, my recent my middle of May report is there. So from time to time you can get kind of a sense of what we do. I think it's a great value no matter what. But that's really why I'm doing this, folks. Thanks for hanging out. I will talk to you soon. Peace.